We are talking right now with John Michitson, who is the City Council President for the City of Haverhill. Welcome to the program, John.
Hi, Frank. It's great to be here.
You know, running for re-election as well, as I understand it. So
yes, I am.
Good. You know, can tell us something about the challenges that you think the City of Haverhill has seen during your tenure, let's say, during the past couple of years. And after we go through that, we're going to take a look and switch gears and see where you think we should be going.
So I think the big issues in the city are crime, you know, especially violent crime, public education, and economic development. And all three go together. We spend a lot of time trying to work the public safety issue. Yeah. We spend a lot of time on public education, and we don't spend enough time talking and doing economic development. And so that's an area that I focused on in the last couple of years.
Okay.
And
initially, earlier on, you had talked about initiatives having to do with the cyber district, and what you're talking about now is sort of like an evolution coming from that. Is it not? Because you're talking about a special broadband, being able to take advantage of that in the second wave of technology, and having Haverhill be a partner in that?
Actually, the two are related only in the fact that I learned a lot of lessons the first time around.
Yeah.
On the cyber district, we were trying to do it on a grassroots basis.
Okay.
What I learned there is that you really need a top-down approach. You've got to get all of the key stakeholders involved right from the get-go. And so what I've been working on this time, I established relationships in Haverhill and also in Boston and Cambridge with the startup community there. Because that's where all the ideas are starting to hatch now. In fact, Kendall Square in 2030 is going to have like 50 or 60,000 people in skyscrapers because everybody wants to be where the ideas are. And in Haverhill, I really think the winning combination, there'll be many different approaches that we'll need, right? But being able to you know, work with a startup company, you know, an innovative entrepreneur, and be the manufacturing arm, because all the brain power and the research and development can take place there, but it's too expensive to manufacture the products.
Square foot, yeah.
And so we had in Haverhill the Haverhill Hardware Horizons Challenge, which was our rendition of Shark Tank.
Really?
Oh yeah, and it was very successful. We got 15 hardware companies. And the winner of our contest was Bounce Imaging. And they develop a camera ball that has cameras in all directions. You toss it into a room, like a first responder or military soldier, and you can see a picture of the whole room, as well as any kind of chemical or biological sensors that you want. Well, here's the trick. This was a proof of pilot. This was a pilot project for trying to prove the concept that we can be successful at leveraging the research and development community from Boston and Cambridge and bringing back the manufacturing. So in our Haverhill Shark Tank, the biggest participant we had was Rich Burrow of Lightspeed Manufacturing in Haverhill. And he offered all of the top three winners essentially free electronics, all the way up to a product to manufacture. Right, so you could build 3 or 4 different prototypes until you got it working exactly right. And now we were just on Channel 4 news because Bounce Imaging just shipped their first 100 units to police stations around the country, and Rich Burrow at Lightspeed Manufacturing is doing the manufacturing.
That's great. That's a great linkage from start to finish, to have something from the inception to fruition. And you're looking to go ahead and basically mimic that type of circumstance again and again and again.
Well, that's one strategy. So I used that particular startup competition to build relationships with the Mass Technology Collaborative, and then got involved with the Greater Haverhill Foundation and chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, Brian Dempsey, and lobbied hard to get $150,000 for Haverhill's first economic development plan in decades. So that is underway right now, where Mass Technology Collaborative, Greater Haverhill Foundation, and other stakeholders are working together to map out our future, and then to start recruiting, trying to get businesses into the city.
So it's like a blueprint, this thing you're talking about, being able to do, almost being able to have Haverhill referred to as maybe Cambridge North, no?
Right. I think one of the first tasks is going to be to try to brand Haverhill. What do we want to say that's special about Haverhill? And what we're finding out in doing some of the early research is that 20,000 people actually leave Haverhill every morning for, let's say, better paying jobs. Okay? And unfortunately, I'm the poster boy for that. I've done it for 30 years. I go to Lexington, the MITRE Corporation, and I travel an hour each way. Now, what's very interesting here is that I watched my father for 30 years. He would come home exhausted. And I said to myself, I'm never going to do that. Well, guess what? For 30 years, that's what he did.
Yeah.
And he actually went to RCA, which is right across the street from MITRE. So between the two of us, for 60 years,
Like father, like son.
we have wasted 2 hours of our lives every day.
So you want to bring it home,
And I
essentially.
want to bring it home, and when I go door to door in the neighborhoods, you wouldn't believe how many people in Haverhill go to Boston and Cambridge and go to the North Shore and go to Middlesex County, and they all say, we would take a pay cut to be able to work right here in Haverhill.
It works. That being the case, well, you're talking now with the plan that you're talking about for economic development, are there some elements in that plan as far as an outline, as far as attracting businesses, or what the inducements would be? Or does it include tax credits? Does it include, subsidy of location, startups, things of that type? Can you give us a brief outline of that, because we're short on time?
Yeah, so right now, we just collected data from different focus groups, businesses in Haverhill, and we went to businesses outside of Haverhill to get advice as well. And right now, I believe the best strategy would be to pick a pilot. So for example, the one that comes to mind the most is that Southwick will soon be moving to the Lowe's building.
Right.
That will leave a really nice office building and manufacturing space for another company to come in. So I think what we ought to do is work with that commercial real estate agent that's going to be representing the owner, right? And figure out how we can map their goals into the goals of Haverhill and offer a package to try to draw, a strong company to Haverhill. Not what we don't want, is a distribution center, right, with 6 jobs. What we'd rather have is something like Magellan, which is a world-class company, and that's what we haven't done in Haverhill for the last 30 or 40 years since the Ward Hill development effort, is try to get good jobs at all levels, right? Manufacturing, I think, is really a strength of ours.
Your theory is being able to put something of that type in place begets others, and so on and so on and so on.
Yes.
Because once the door is open.
Yes.
John, that's an excellent idea. That people are going to be looking forward to seeing those types of things come to fruition, flower, bloom, and spread as time goes on. We wish you the best of luck in the upcoming election, and we appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Frank, very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
We'll be back.